repeat after me. I, David Lombardi, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Ohio, and I will administer justice without respect to persons, and will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as judge of the Akron Municipal Court, according to the best of my ability and understanding. And this I do, as I shall answer unto God.
All right.
I guess it's my turn. Thank you so much for coming. I want to thank you for joining me for this special event. But most of all, thanks the Lord, my God, for this amazing opportunity. I give all the praise and credit to Him. I also want to thank the Republican Party, Alex Archinkoff, Brian Williams, Joe Nasich, who gave me this great opportunity. I'm honored that you chose to be here and feel very blessed and flattered that you came to this occasion. Please forgive me. I'd like to acknowledge a few people that have come here, but I can't name everybody because we'll be here all night. But I want to first thank Chief Justice Maureen for being a part of the ceremony. I appreciate you being here today, as well as my good friend Katarina Cook, and for doing the charge as well. I also want to thank my fellow judges, 9th District Court of Appeals, Summit County Police Court judges, Akron Municipal Court, for being here and sharing this. I know it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm cooking here, so I was on my way this way. I'd also like to thank my fellow Akron School Board members, who I will miss greatly, along with the very important work that we did for this community. I want to say that the Akron Public Schools is a great organization with exceptional leadership, and just commend them to keep up the good work. I thank School Board member Reverend Curtis Walker for graciously agreeing to do the invocation, as well as Judge McKinney of the Common Police Court, who will do our benediction here shortly. I want to thank my family, my father Fred, my mother Peggy Lombardi, who are here. They gave me the opportunity to achieve my dreams. I want to thank my wife Robin. I owe everything to you, especially when this journey started in 2011. My fine young sons, Leo and Max, who did the Pledge of Allegiance for us. They've been troopers in everything we've asked them to do from the outset of this journey. Most of you know that I have a twin brother, Mark Lombardi, who's standing to my right. He's also an attorney. For some that don't know, we've worked downtown together on and off and in different roles since 1989. We had the distinct privilege of creating complete confusion among the judges, staff, and clients in the past 24 years, and all I can tell you is that you can be assured that it'll continue. I do have two other brothers, my brothers John and Joe Lombardi, who have traveled from Chicago to be with me here today, and I want to thank them for coming. Joe brought my niece Ellie and her friend Carly, I believe. They made a road trip from Chicago this morning. Thanks for making the trip. I have many aunts and uncles that are here, and on both my mom's and my dad's side, and I greatly appreciate them taking the time to be here. As you heard, my wife's sister's family, Chris and Tricia Tipping. Special thanks again to Margot for that lovely rendition of Star Spangled Banner. I also believe well, and he is here, I wrote this as a maybe, but my nephew Nathan Lombardi, Mark's son, who is in from Miami University with the men's glee club, and they are singing tonight at St. Brendan's Church at 7:30, and I highly encourage you to go see a fantastic group of kids that can really sing well, but they've agreed to do a little number of my alma mater, Miami University, at the end of this presentation. Last but not least, my church family. And could you guys all raise your hands? Summit Christian Church on South Hawkins Avenue near Wallhaven. Our pastor, Mike Martin. They've been very supportive, and I thank them for all their prayers during this time. Some of my thunder was stolen. I must have let my speech lay around Judge Cook to look at before I finished it, but I was going to go through the fact that we do have a long legal tradition in our family. There's 7 judges over 3 generations, and I won't go through them because we already heard about them, but some that you didn't hear about was my grandpa, the judge, Tony's brother, Paul, was also an attorney. As you know, my dad has been 53 years, celebrating 53 years, practicing with Buckingham, Doolittle, and Burroughs. My brother Mark and I, but also my uncle Richard Lombardi and his wife Rosemary are here. He's been in practice for a very long time, primarily in Portage County. His son, Paul Lombardi, was licensed and practicing in town for a few years, and he has now moved with his wife to Charlotte, North Carolina. So who knows who might be met next? I took the bench April 1st, 2015, midway through what is, I'm going to call the famous ex-Navy SEAL trial. If you followed that trial at all, the allegations or the facts were that this ex-Navy SEAL claimed to have been shot in the parking lot of Mustard Seed Market in Montrose. And he was a television correspondent for different news agencies, and because of that, this case gained national attention. So the case started on the 31st of March, but I was not yet a judge until the end of that day, so I sat in through half of it and walked into a sea of news cameras and press trying to, in essence, take over the court. So the first day on the job, I had multiple news cameras and the press, all that fanfare to deal with. I think that was more publicity than I'll get over the next 10 years if I stay in office. Other than the first day, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the new job as a judge. I think that's partly due to the fact that I spent the last 24 years advocating for the people of Greater Akron in the very types of cases over which I'm now presiding. I hold that dear to my heart. Part of that is also due to the kind welcome that I've gotten from the Akron municipal judges and the many court staff, police officers, and others working in the municipal court. Thank you for that. I wanted to briefly reference one of my heroes, Teddy Roosevelt. I admire him not only as a statesman, but as an outdoorsman, as an adventurer. He was a tremendous hunter, tenacious in his quest for whatever he was after, no matter the weather, the darkness, the cold. Most people don't know that he gathered many of the animal species from the African continent that are even now exhibits at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. Most importantly, he was a great family man, and even when as a president, he would spend time with his children running obstacle courses over the White House rooms and on its grounds. When meeting with dignitaries, he would cut his meetings short about 4 p.m. so he could go romp with his children. Teddy Roosevelt made a number of great speeches, but one has been my favorite, and I'd like to share just a part of that with you if I could. It's called The Man in the Arena. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who actually is in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows very great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who who neither know victory nor defeat. In the end, with the help of the Lord and my friends and colleagues, I expect to know the triumph of high achievement. I will take this trusted position very seriously, work diligently to serve the citizens of this great community with fairness and wisdom, and I want to thank you for joining me here today.